The audience at the Festival of Arts and Culture in Tanzania have been told that women-owned businesses will receive help from nations such as the U.S. This was announced during day 2 of the festival in the city of Arusha. Conversations today took a health, women and business as well as climate change focus. The festival concludes on Saturday, which will also see the planting of 1,000 trees and panel discussions on culture and music. Hugo Ribatika is there and spoke to the American author and Smile Foundation CEO Lidwine Meffo today. Let's take a look.
Our conversations continue at Festival of Africa 2023 in Arusha, Tanzania. And this time we are talking women. I'm speaking to Madam Lidwine Meffo, who speaks to us. In fact, she's come all the way from the United States. Ms. Meffo, appreciate your time. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
Thank you for having me. It's my first time in Tanzania, and it feels like home. I like to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, glad to hear that. Let's talk about this bridge that you're building from the United States to Africa. What role can the U.S. or more developed nations play, particularly in supporting women in business on the African continent?
Actually, when you see what is happening, I don't know if you see the Vice President of America coming to Africa and talking about partnership, leadership, empowering women doing what they're supposed to do. At this moment, it's important to give the tools to every woman in Africa, especially at the grassroots level, training them with what they need to be independent, financially, emotionally, spiritually, to also extend around them. So it's very important. So partnership with agency, company, organization in Africa is what we are trying to do from Africa to America.
So I suppose the million-dollar question is, how does that actually work? Because you're coming from a very, very developed United States, coming to Africa, where not as developed, in fact, where many women, in many instances, are not where they should be as far as business is concerned. I mean, their language barriers, there are all sorts of challenges that you are facing. What does that roadmap look like for you, getting to a place where you come to Africa and you get to a place where women become empowered?
Yes. We come, we sit, we assess, we listen, and then we see what is in need. And I think love is one language. When you see somebody in need, with love, we need what they need to do. I mean, we get into the picture. We get in contact with them. We listen to the story. We see how can we help. And that's what I talked earlier about the grassroots level. So we go from beneath and see how we can raise them up from what they need, from their need, personal need. And I'm glad that you also spoke about the language barrier. And I say, if there is a love, I'm sure we can communicate without even saying a word, because love is right there and the light is there to just give what we need to give in order for them to grow.
And final question, are you at this point be able to give us a value amount as to the investment or support that you will give women in Africa or women in Tanzania?
I have a foundation called the Smiling Foundation, and the foundation is dealing with the fourth SDG of the United Nations, which is education. I go around Africa, I build libraries for them to be educated and create awareness of what they need in order for them to do what they do. And today, personally, I will be connected with many women and assess them what they need, listen to what they need, and see how I can connect them with the foundation and see how we can partnership and see how we can move Africa and change the narrative together.
Ms. Meffo, appreciate your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Interesting conversations that are happening where Africa meets the United States or meets the rest of the world, and those initiatives empowering women on the African continent. And all of this is happening at Festac 2023 in Arusha, Tanzania. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Hugo Ribatika.